21 years ago, I sat in a cold metal folding chair in a health and sports center just like this one, waiting for my name to be called, just like you today. I knew it was a big day. I had no idea, though, what earning a degree how it would shape the rest of my life. I remember wearing a black thrift store suit I had bought the week before. I remember the pants were too big, and I had to fold them over with a safety pin and hide the whole operation under a belt. I also stayed up late, trying one last attempt at tying the perfect tie. My great-grandfather, all through high school, would tie my tie. He passed away my sophomore year. I share these memories because I hope you are completely absorbed in this day. I remember feeling a lot of feels in that chair. Overwhelmed, proud, nervous, grateful, mostly relieved. I never took for granted the opportunity to attend college, and I never assumed graduation was guaranteed. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. During my first semester in general biology, Bios 101, on the first day of class, I will never forget, the professor said that classic but intimidating line, "Look to your left, look to your right, one of you won't be here next year." It was dramatic, not something our faculty would say, but it resonated with me, especially since my brother Chris had spent most of high school yelling at me to get up and get to school. Over the next 4 years, I approached every class and every semester with respect and with a quiet fear that never quite left me, that the next class would be the one that I couldn't pass, that my effort wouldn't be enough, that procrastination would finally catch up with me. I still, as an adult, occasionally dream about showing up to class unprepared. With all this on my mind, I'm deeply humbled and grateful to Chancellor Schnorr for inviting me to share in your day. I was fortunate enough to sit next to Chancellor Schnorr when he was the senior advisor to retired Chancellor Douglas Kristensen, and I served as Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance. During that time, I came to admire his steady mind and his fierce drive. There is a disciplined fire that fuels everything he does. And much of that fire comes from an unrelenting belief in the power of public education to change lives. I stand here before you today because student-centered public education changed my life. My mother, Evelyn, arrived in Kearney to begin a nursing job at Good Samaritan Hospital, eager, I imagine, to take on the world, only to learn she was facing an unexpected pregnancy. Shock, fear, and uncertainty must have overwhelmed her. And those emotions likely intensified when she learned that she would be a single mother of twin boys. My brother Chris and I were probably never described to anyone or by anyone as a bundle of joy. Yet, my mother persevered, both as a parent and a nurse, retiring after 43 clinical years of service at the hospital. From her, I learned that work is about service, not status. That work is about service, not status. As the songwriter and modern prophet Jelly Roll puts it, I am the man my mama raised. During my senior year of college, I earned an internship with a large private corporation in Lincoln, with the understanding that strong performance would lead to full-time employment. It was the carrot at the end of the stick all of us dream about. One day, while working on customer rate sheets, a coworker came through the office replacing light bulbs. As he climbed the ladder to replace the bulb above my desk, I had a profound moment of clarity. I hated my job. It was an odd position to be in. My coworkers were kind, and they'd all had years of dedicated service. They enjoyed their work. And as far as I could tell, I was doing well at the task assigned to me. But I was miserable. So at 22, I made a conscious choice to pursue work that felt meaningful, even if it meant starting with an opportunity to change light bulbs. I resigned from that internship the next day. I will not pretend that conversation went well. There were no congratulatory handshakes or words of encouragement, only disappointment. But for me, relief. What would follow was rejection letter after rejection letter for dozens of jobs I applied for. When I finally landed an interview for a job I truly wanted, I didn't get it. I still wrote a thank you note. 2 months later, the hiring manager called. Was I still interested? I found work I enjoyed, and I have been in pursuit of meaningful work ever since. In 2010, Jane Sheldon, then Director of Business Services and today Associate Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, took a chance on a Kearney guy who was living in Boise, Idaho with his family. She offered me the opportunity to join her team at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Meaningful work. I will never forget that call. I was sitting in the car at Daylight Donuts parking lot, overwhelmed with gratitude and excitement to be returning to my hometown university. I told Jane, and I meant it, when you hire me, you hire a team. For nearly 19 years, my wife, Erin, the girl I met at the Big Apple, not the city, the bowling alley, has been the center of our family, choosing to be a stay-at-home mom. Her work has never come with a title or a paycheck or applause, unless you count some random applause from toddlers at one point, probably. But she carried the weight. She carried the weight of early mornings, late nights, school drop-offs, packed lunches, and homework questions. When opportunities came my way, she made our home a place of stability, love, and grace. As I reflect on my career, one I hope is far from over, my heart is filled with gratitude. Gratitude to God for his grace, and gratitude for the many people, many of them in this room, then and now, who have shaped my path. After navigating the challenges of undergraduate degree, working with people who are both wonderful and at times annoyingly difficult, surviving group projects where half the team disappeared and the other half wanted complete control, I learned something important. A degree doesn't entitle you to opportunity, but it protects you from being limited. A degree doesn't entitle you to opportunity, but it protects you from being limited. As my career progressed, I came to understand that the true value of a degree often reveals itself over time, and rarely in the ways we expect. A year ago, I left my role as Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance to join Nebraska-based ALLO Communications. I did not leave UNK because I did not enjoy this work. I left because leading through repeated historic budget cuts, especially at an institution in a community I care deeply about, takes a toll on a person. When decisions affect people and programs, the weight of that responsibility stays with you. My time at ALLO gave me the chance to just reset, to think differently about growth, about process improvement, and how to scale an organization without chaos. When Ann Barnes, Senior Vice President and CFO for the University of Nebraska System, offered me the opportunity to return as Chief Operating Officer, I chose to bring the experiences I had here and all I had quickly learned to turn motivation into helping build a more stable and resilient future for our university. Every Saturday, I have the privilege of going on a run with my daughter. My favorite part of our run is always the conversation, and recently she asked, "Did you ever imagine where your degree would take you?" No, could have never imagined. But what I did understand then, and even more clearly now, is that a college degree gives you something deeper than a title or a paycheck. It gives you resilience. It gives you agency. It gives you the confidence to step forward when opportunity arises. You leave this place with knowledge, skills, and a degree that represents years of effort. But more than that, you leave with proof. Proof that you can do hard things. Proof that you can persist when the outcome is not guaranteed. And proof that you belong in rooms where ideas are challenged and possibilities are created. Your degree will not tell you exactly where to go next, but it will give you the freedom to choose. And when opportunity appears, I hope you raise your hand. And you do not talk yourself out of the room. Do not wait, and I stress this, until you feel perfectly prepared. Along the way, remember that success is not a solo act. Stay connected to the people who ground you. Build bridges. The relationships you nurture will matter more than the roles you hold. And when the work gets hard, because it will, remember this day. Remember that you earned the right to sit in a cold metal folding chair. You have already faced uncertainty and self-doubt, and you made it here. Take pride in what you've earned. Carry forward the resilience that brought you to this day. Use your education, in the words of Dr. Bisek, to not just make a living, but make a difference. To serve, to lead, and to leave things better than you found them. And I close with the words of Brad Moline, the president and CEO and founder of ALLO Communications, a University of Nebraska graduate. When he called to thank me for my time at ALLO, he left me with a simple charge, one I pass on to you. Go do great things.